You are Locked On Syracuse, your daily podcast on the Syracuse Orange. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Now let's discuss the players who will likely have the biggest roles for Syracuse this upcoming season. These are your big name transfer portal additions, so to speak, that we're about to talk about. Number one is Naithan George. Okay, 6'3" point guard, 180 pounds from Georgia Tech. He's got 2 years of eligibility remaining. He will most likely be Syracuse's starting point guard on opening night and throughout the entirety of the season. And the reason why I say most likely is because the only reason he wouldn't be in the starting lineup is because of injury. Knock on wood, right? That's it. Naithan George last year at Georgia Tech, he averaged over 12 points per game. He led the ACC with over 6.5 assists per game. This is a really, really good transfer portal addition for Syracuse basketball. But he's not only valuable because of his ability to score, or he kind of has a little bit of a shot to him, career 33% three-point shooter, or his excellent passing ability. It's also the fact that he plays a ton of minutes. Last year, Naithan George averaged nearly 36 minutes per game at Georgia Tech. 36 minutes per game. That's nearly an entire game in college basketball. In college basketball, it's only 40 minutes long. This is not the NBA. 36 of 40 minutes. That's over 90% of game action that Naithan George played a year ago. And he's my pick to lead Syracuse in minutes per game next season. And we'll discuss the depth chart for Syracuse coming up in just a moment. But before that, I want to throw it to you. What do you think? Will Naithan George lead Syracuse basketball in minutes played per game next season? I want to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. Now, I'm going to explain why I believe Naithan George will hold that title this year for Syracuse. Now, it shouldn't come to anyone's surprise that last season, J.J. Starling led the Orange, playing nearly 35 minutes per game. But let's discuss the depth chart, okay? In 2024-25, so this past season, right? Your point guards, I guess on the roster, were Jaquan Carlos and Kyle Cuff, even though Adrian Autry said that he's not really a point guard, referring to Kyle Cuff. And your shooting guards were J.J. Starling, Elijah Chapamore, and Lucas Taylor. So there was a reason that J.J. Starling had to play a lot, and there was also a reason why he had to play a lot of point guard, because Syracuse didn't really have any good point guards, and aside from Starling at shooting guard, they didn't have any good shooting guards. So there's a reason why he had to play about 35 minutes a game last year. Now you look at this upcoming season, your point guards, or your two top ones, at least on the depth chart, are Naithan George and Luke Fennell. And your shooting guards, your top two, at least right now, are J.J. Starling and Kyan Anthony. So J.J. Starling is not going to have to play as much point guard as he did a year ago because Naithan George is here. So overall, not only will Naithan George have the biggest role of all of Syracuse's transfers as a scorer and as a distributor, but he is likely going to lead the entire team in minutes played per game next season. And once again, I want to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. Now let's get to the transfer who has a very important role for Syracuse this upcoming season. And I'm talking about Nate Kingz, not Nathan Kingz. Nate Kingz, 6'5", 190-pound guard or forward from Oregon State. He's got 1 year of eligibility remaining. As far as his role in the lineup, like where he slots in the depth chart, it's a little bit uncertain because for now, he appears to be the team's starting small forward, a direct replacement to Chris Bell from a year ago when Chris Bell started the year in the starting lineup before falling out of it because he wasn't playing well. That's neither here nor there. But hey, if Kyan Anthony pops or Tyler Betsy, who we'll talk about in the next segment, if he pops off, then maybe Nate Kingz gets moved to the bench as a weapon for Syracuse basketball. But as far as what his role will be on the court and why he is really important for Syracuse this upcoming year, his role is simple. shoot. Shoot the ball, Nate Kingz. Because Nate Kingz a year ago at Oregon State shot nearly 45% from the three-point line on over 4 attempts per game. So this is a really, really excellent outside shooter for Syracuse. And why he's really valuable? Think about their projected starting lineup for just a moment and the career three-point percentages, okay? Naithan George, 33% for his career. J.J. Starling, 3 seasons now in college basketball for him. Less than 30% from the three-point line. I am not going to believe J.J. Starling is a good outside shooter until he actually proves that he is a good outside shooter. Because for now, one of his big flaws is that he really can't shoot from beyond the arc. Less than 30% for his entire career. Nate Kingz, I get it's only one Division I year, but over 4 attempts per game, nearly 45% from the three-point line. That's excellent, right? But then you got Donnie Freeman, who you're hoping takes another step in his three-point line, at the three-point line, excuse me. But a year ago, he was 33%, which is pretty good for a power forward, but not exactly elite overall as far as shooting. And then your starting center is probably going to be William Kyle, who we'll talk about in the next segment. 0 for 1 on career three-point attempts. He is not an outside shooter at all. So Syracuse next year, they are going to need Nate Kingz to, I don't think it's necessarily realistic that he converts at 45% from the three-point line next year, but they're going to need him to shoot over 40% from the three-point line if they want to make the NCAA tournament.